How's it going, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of Factorio. Hope you guys have been enjoying the series so far. If you guys have, you guys know to do, smash that like button if you haven't done so already. And with that, let's get into the video. So, on Flagora, we have done quite a few things, actually, since the last time we spoke. Primarily, a lot of it, not gonna lie, has been me AFKing. Part of that, however, is in an effort to hopefully get all the Tesla turrets we need for our GLEBA prep. Now, I did queue up 200, or request 200. We only have 80 blue, which isn't the end of the world. However, I would like more. But I think we can get away with what we're going to need to start out with anyway there. However, one of the things I wanted to work on as well is, so we set up all of this. We got pretty much all the quality things we're going to need. I also expanded to include ship parts. So for instance, cargo bays, crushers, which we have a good amount of, grabbers, which these are actually really good because they increase the number of arms you get. So notice you get 3 arms for a rare one. Also better engines, and as well I needed the pumps, which I mistakenly made, where are they? Offshore pumps, not pumps. So that was I kept wondering why the request was never getting fulfilled, and then it dawned on me, and I go, I'm just not going to even touch that. All of our rocket silos did go ahead and get finished, so we have plenty of stuff there. As for our trains, they're pretty much handling about 100% uptime. There's some minor gaps here and there, but otherwise we're pretty good. I could redesign the signaling here a little bit, just so that way we can kind of get like a train here, which would help save us a little bit of time, and then also have the station's signals a little bit closer here so that the train technically leaves it a little bit sooner, sort of thing, as well as making sure that our buffers here are being accurately emptied. That is one thing with the quality, though, is you end up with a kind of a situation where you might have something like this, where this back one isn't unloading as fast as this front one, so this front one's going to be, is very clearly being taken from first, and so then you kind of run into some issues. You also potentially could run into that exact issue where, say this train leaves, well, this train's kind of waiting. It looks like they're all back heavy, so we might have to do some balancers here just so that way we can make sure that all 4 lanes are actually being taken from properly. That is something we can look at in the future for like some other optimizations we want to do, but otherwise we're doing fine. Our little setup here seems to be doing good. We actually have trains waiting, which is really good. We probably want to add a few more of these larger trains, because this, as you can see, does have times where there's just no scrap on it, and then in some sections where there was, and now there is a little bit. You can actually see where the end of that input was, and this left hand side seems to always be going, and everything there seems good. I went ahead and added more rockets over here, but also a shipyard, so to speak. So now we're actually making space platform pieces, because I figure over here we're gonna have the bulk of our just regular iron, and or not iron, steel and other items. Because if you look here, we have where was it? Well, we had a lot more. Looks like, wow, we have burnt through all of the steel we had in stockpile. That is wild. We have 30 in the entire network. That is crazy. Because over here, yeah, we have barely like 20. That is comic. Like, that is comically bad, so to speak. I mean, I know that these recyclers really aren't working, and the ones that are currently working, like, we're using all of it. And if you guys remember correctly here, the way that this is set up is the higher percentage chance an item is, the further to the left, and the lower percentage chance an item is, the further to the right it is in our storage. So like, for instance, the ore, lowest percentage chance furthest to the right. Gears, the highest percentage chance the furthest to the left. Steel's kind of like over here, it's kind of, you know, left of center sort of thing. So it's like, okay, well, we're gonna get a little bit more than that, but we are gonna likely need more steel. So what gives us steel from recycling? That is the big question. Low density structure, I think, does. How much of that do we have? We have 105,000. Batteries, I don't think give us steel in any way. Let's see, let's look over here. Yeah, that it does give us some steel. It also gives us copper and plastic, which could be reused to make copper wire and that to make more red circuits. So that could be an option we try to do. I don't know, but we do have a steel issue for now. But we're stockpiling this because we are going to be building quite a few ships in the future. So we have currently 14,000. Because right now we have orange science, we have pink science, we have space science. Space science satellite never needs to move. It's perfectly content with where it is. Although, we'll probably want to upgrade all the stuff to quality at some point. But that's not a concern. And then we have the Enterprise. I know I talked about it last time with what I would like is obviously we're going to have a science ship from Volcanus to Novice, GLEBA, and Flagora and everything else back to Novice, right? However, we also need a cargo hauler between the planets. I'm thinking we're probably going to have a cargo hauler as well, so have the science, because one thing I have seen people do is they will upgrade their science ships to just be large enough as well to also house other cargo. But what I find is I want my science ship to only worry about science. So that way it's only running on, okay, my science is filled, go. Instead of, oh, well, now I have to also wait for the additional items. So even though we already have a ship going from planet A to planet B, I want the science ship to just be science. So I think we are going to want to build some cargo haulers. I don't think we're going to do it today because I haven't figured out a design and I want to wait for some more space platform things to be built. Because right now what I'm thinking is we're going to need, because eventually we're going to scale up Novice, right? Eventually this is going to probably get mostly torn apart and we're going to rework Novice quite a bit, I think. Partially because what I want is I want to scale Novice up to probably 10,000 science per minute, maybe. I was originally going to do 1,000 because that's what everything else was, but I think we might scale Novice up quite a bit and then eventually go back and up all the other planets, sort of thing. Because right now we are limited. If you notice, we're only getting about 90-ish science per minute, which is fine. But notice, blue science doesn't quite yield enough. Like, it kind of does, but it's like, not all the labs are running. I honestly don't know how much science we can support with this many labs. Which is kind of always hard, because it's like, well, how many labs do you really need to support that much science per minute? But I'm sure somebody somewhere has a calculator for that. I just haven't bothered actually looking into it. I usually just slap down, like 50 labs and call it a day, sort of thing. But I would definitely, eventually, I'm going to probably come back to Novice and rework it for like 10k science or whatever. So we're going to have to build the science ships or upgrade them a little bit to account for that. As for the cargo haulers, like things that we're going to be shipping around, like quality items, Flagora's going to have a quality marked ship, I think. Or just a quality ship that will be sent around places, but that's probably only going to be one ship. We're probably going to have a ship from Volcanus for things like tungsten, stuff of that nature. Right, so we're going to have, the unique planet items, but more importantly, Flagora is going to be our central hub, I think, for rocket parts. So we're going to need a cargo hauler for each planet to go from Flagora to those planets for the rocket fuel, which we can get in absolute abundance. Low density structure, which even just over here in the quality section, we have a good bit. We have 19,000 regular with another 24,000 Mark II sort of thing. I'm actually curious with the rocket silos. Is that... Now, I don't see an option there, but I will say I wish with the quality items, you could force select, like, say there's this recipe like rocket part. I can't make quality rocket parts, but I should be able to use quality in it. If a recipe doesn't let me use quality, because obviously you're not going to get quality out, but in a case like this, let me use quality items in either option A, just use it as the non-quality variant. So I'm basically foregoing any quality in the effect of I just want rocket parts made. Option 2, if if you want to balance it a little bit more, do what they have with science, where quality science contributes more science. Possibly have the quality parts contribute more rocket parts. So like normal counts for 2. Or yeah, normal would count for 2, maybe uncommon counts for 4, rare counts for 6, epic counts for 8, legendary counts for 10 or something, something. Just make it so that I can use quality in that. Other than that, I think we're actually ready to go to GLEBA. I think today is the GLEBA episode after 12 minutes of narration. I think we're ready. So, with all of that, we need to empty our inventory. Actually, we need to send some of this up. So we're going to turn this guy off. I want my robots. Do the Enterprise, please. Do the Enterprise. Yeah, just steal this top row. We're not going to need trains, because we're basically going to use robots for the most part. Well, actually, Enterprise. How many, like... Yeah, okay. How many of these do we have? We have 100. We have like 200. Okay, so there's not like a million. Enterprise. Go ahead. I want to request a few things for you. I think we have Mark IIIs. Let's go ahead and request 30 of them. If they're available, they are available. Okay. And then I want to also request about 3,000 of these guys. And then, is that... Yeah, okay, we still have plenty of room. Is there anything else I need? I have concrete on here, right? Yep, we have concrete, we have steel, we have those, we have that, we have LDS, we have fuel, we have plenty of turrets, we have everything for the nuclear stuff. We are going to have to make a pit stop, I think, at Novice for uranium. So I don't see any uranium. We have a little bit, but I would like to get more, probably about 500. So let's go ahead and add that to a new group. Let's do... That's another thing, is we're probably going to have a uranium ship going to and fro for all the planets, as well as we're going to need a refueling interrupt to all head back to Novice at some point to refuel for their uranium. Some of the planets, so for instance, Flagora is going to have a nuclear reactor. Because of that, Flagora can also be a refueling station because it's going to have uranium. Now, places like Volcanus or GLEBA, excuse me, GLEBA is going to have a nuclear reactor. But Flagora and Volcanus, at least mine, don't have a nuclear reactor, so they won't ever have uranium on surface. So then that's a case where planets central to kind of our underlying theme of global empire. Oh, that's fine. Oh, yeah, so you're going to stock up. You're going to stock up. We have 20. It's probably fine. We do need power poles. Did I ever make the quality power poles here? I don't know if I did. But is there anything else I need? In all honesty, I probably need about a stack of those mining drills we have, but we really don't need. I might need foundries, but I think I have some up there. Do I have inserters? I feel like I didn't request inserters. Do I have like the most basic crafting? Yeah, we have inserters, we have pipe, roboports, we have storage chests, which is fine. I want to set up requester. Passive provider, let's do 100. So it's gonna solve that issue. We do have solar panels, so we can at least get a power grid started. I don't see any power poles, so let's go ahead and make sure we request. Yeah, see, because if we do, ow, my ankle. Tier 3 like better ones, we'll be in a better position. But we don't have those. Okay, let's set all these back to auto, and then let's go ahead. Not spoilage. I don't want spoilage. I want this. I want casino. Assembler symbol. Let's go ahead and throw wrong spot. There. I want these. 500. Okay, and then this is this. We probably won't have these super quick. I mean, we might, because we actually have a good chunk of the items. But we'll see. We are starting to really stockpile the Mark III. Which is really good. Okay. We need some of the basic things, so I need red circuits, but I don't know how many of those we have. We also need to set up proper red circuit production here, because, like, we do not have enough. Just copper, so I need that, and I need, yeah, because, like, even green circuits to a degree are just non-existent. I guess I need one of those. I don't have any robots, so that's why I'm like, why? Okay, what else do we need? I need one. Nope, no. Need these. There we go. So, because then it's gonna just work to craft the rare ones, which, if we always have the rare material, then it's just always gonna craft the rare ones, which is nice. I like how this is set up. I have no idea how, like, any of the, like, programming for this works. The guy who designed it, excellent job. What? How many do we have? 5 already? Alright, let's wait till we have about 50 of those, but I am going to ship up the ones I have. Because... Actually, are we making them here? I feel like those are something we're making. If I'm making it over here, then I'd be concerned. Oh no, we have it. Okay, so then I'm going to just ship up to this guy. Let's just do... We're going to need some substations. Let's just do 500 from you. Okay, we have that, we have that. How many of these do we have? We have 2,500, that's fine. We're gonna get one more shipment of that, that should be good. We'll try to get those sent up if we can, if not, it's nothing to the world. Actually, you know what, I'm gonna just ship these up, and the 80 we have is plenty. Because I think we should be good. Then we'll head from here. From Flagora, we'll head to Novice, and then from Novice over to GLEBA is, I think, the move. Let's go ahead and empty out our inventory, as we classically have to do. What else can I put up on here? I don't really know what else I would need. Maybe some cliff explosives, because, you know, those sometimes always come in handy. We don't need lightning, we don't need that. Maybe... Let's go ahead and empty out our inventory of random. There's nothing in here that I might need, right? No. Oh, no, we have to... Travel to the Enterprise. I like that I don't have to turn off automatic request. To GLEBA we go! Right at the end, huh? Definitely I'm excited for GLEBA. And then... I'm excited for the reworks that we've done to a lot of these planets. Like, we did Volcanus's rework of all this stuff, and then we came here to finish up. And it's funny because we went to Flagora, and it's like, oh, we need some stuff, so let's go to Volcanus. Then we updated a bunch of stuff on Volcanus. And it's like, okay, well, let's go back to Flagora. Let's get quality. It's like we're doing a lot of the side project things, which I think is funny. We also need to do modules, like quality modules here, but I haven't set that up yet. Likely at some point we will. We will do that. I want to do quality, whatchamacallit, speed modules. We are here. Do we have everything we need? Yes, we do. So let's go ahead and head to Novice, where hopefully we can get a bunch of the uranium we need. We also need a landing platform, a cargo landing pad, which I hope there is. And we also need some cargo bays. Let's do 20. And is there anything else that I might need that I probably have forgotten already? The answer to that question is probably yes. But we have everything we need for now. So away we go. I think we probably need to redo the Enterprise a little bit, make it a wee bit more efficient, I would surmise. Because cargo haulers, right? Because we could, I guess, use this as a cargo hauler. It is quite large to be a cargo hauler. But I suppose this now can be reworked into a foundry. We have calcite, or can gate calcite. Pretty sure there's a recipe for it now, right? Where we can crush. Oh, it's a ghost blueprint. No, that's not what I wanted. I could have sworn there is a. Let's see. There is a calcite operation we can get. Maybe. Yes. Yes. Advanced oxide asteroid crushing. We can get 3 ice, 2 calcite. Why would I need sulfur in space? I mean, I guess perhaps you're not necessarily doing this in space, but why would you need that in space? I'm sure there's a reason. I'm sure there is a reason. Otherwise, why would it be in the game? Alright. We are heading to Novice. On Novice, well, we inevitably wait and then just wait to stock up. We have these really massive trains. I don't know what I was thinking when I was designing this. I really don't know what my initial intention was for these size trains. Because in all honesty, we could have just gotten away with 141s or 242s, but instead I did a 282, which I don't know why. I see power here is, well, coal. Oh wow, we actually have almost used. Jeez, I have not looked at a base mining drill in forever. Like, I seriously feel like when you look at Novice, it's like just a total different place. Like, it's a totally different game almost. It's like, okay. Interesting. What on earth was I doing with these? Huh. It's weird because I haven't really been back to Novice in a minute. Let's see, how are we doing? We have that coming up. We don't have any of those, and we apparently don't have any of these. What do you... I did not mean to do that. Okay, there's 400 on the planet, so that can get shipped up. That one, on the other hand, does not. Didn't we set that production up at some point? We kind of did. There you go. And then the robot should build the rest of that. It's kind of funny because you can see where the original fence wall was based on where the belt was for the wall and things. Because originally we had a wall of turrets here. We had this western wall that we broke past. And we just extended it all the way down here, which, you know, ever since we added these additional flame turrets, we really haven't had an issue. How much pollution is there? That's a lot of pollution. Interesting. Interesting indeed. I will say, ooh, now's a great time to talk about this while we wait for this guy to fill up. As we near the end of the series, slash into next week, I should say. Next week, or rather this coming week, so this is being recorded on Sunday, so you probably won't see what I'm talking about until the following week, or the week after. This week, as part of me taking some personal time, some of the episodes are going to be a little bit pre-recorded. Just heads up. I mean, they kind of already are, but usually it's only a couple days out. I'm going to attempt a 100% speed run and do like a little mini series of that. I'll probably record that stuff. I'm not sure when or how. That also will likely have commentary of my friends. I don't know if they're going to be joining me or not, but they will likely be in the background as additional commentary as we work through that speedrun. So yeah, so we'll have to, just kind of see how that goes. I don't know how many attempts it's going to take me, because my goal, not trains, is to get all the achievements again. I got all of the ones in 1.0, and that was awesome. So now we're going to try to get all of the ones in 2.0. Not including any mods, by the way. So like the rate calculator and stuff like this, we're going to do without. I think I'm going to also go for the challenge, the unofficial challenge of default settings and things, because I know that is one thing that a lot of people will do, is I just want to 100% the game. And I know some speedrunners will view it as a time thing, like how fast can you do it, because speedrunners are able to do it well under 40 hours. So for them, it's more of a, okay, how can we get faster? And part of that is using optimal seeds, using optimal blueprints, stuff like that. I'm not going to do that. My primary goal is going to be, I think, default settings. I think I'm going to literally just do default settings, no blueprints, and go from there, I think is the plan. So I might do some practice runs tomorrow, or even later today, of just kind of planning that out. But otherwise, that's kind of the plan, is to try to get all of these achievements. I do have to look through all of them, because notice there's a lot of these red ones which we've already technically failed. Part of that is because we haven't done, like, some of these timed ones, obviously we were going to fail the 90 minutes. The within 40 hours, within 100 hours even, as well as launching the rockets and things. So there are some of those milestones which we don't have. Whoa, why are we letter red? Oh, novice, not important. So there's a lot of these. Launch a rocket without building any solar panels. Launch a rocket without building any laser turrets. Right, so some of these are only temporary, so once we launch a rocket, we earn them, and then we can kind of go past. Same thing with Lazy Bastard. Launch a rocket. So once we launch the rocket, which will happen at like the 3-hour mark, then we should be fine. And then we can do those, finish research with Space Science Pack for the base game, or any Planetary Science Pack for Space Age without building any active provider buffer or requester chest. See, this one's going to be a little bit hard, because requester chest means robots. which means we won't be able to use Robot Swarm, which is one thing that I have used previously in 1.0 to beat the game. Although, we can use construction robots. This is just logistic, so we should still be fine with construction. We just won't be able to do big logistical swarms. Destroy your first enemy structure using artillery. This one's going to be a little bit more challenging because on default settings, we're going to have to worry about making sure we don't destroy an enemy base until we get artillery, which is Volcanus, which means Volcanus will be our first planet for that. Research a technology using another planet's science before unlocking. That should be fine. But it's little things like that that we have to make sure we have all of. And then these last couple ones, like all these legendary ones, these are just time that, like, at the end, once we beat the 40 hours, that's when we can really focus on trying to get these other achievements, which will just kind of be there. Second start of the red straight on till morning. Yep. So there are still quite a few achievements that we would need. Is that build and assemble? What was that achievement that had an assembler? What did I just read? Build an assembling machine. Oh, that's right. Probably because we technically, and research oil processing, technically because I think what happened is I started playing with my one friend in our multiplayer world, and he downloaded rate calculator and stuff. So then when I joined him, it also downloaded it for mine, which I don't like, by the way. I don't like that if you join a game, you install the mods and stuff. I wish it would prompt you prior to starting a world, or like joining a save or something, or starting a save and going, hey, you have mods enabled. The save did not have mods, or it doesn't have those mods. Would you like to continue? Because I don't remember it doing that. I know when you join somebody with mods, it goes, hey, do you want to install these? That's just my 2 cents. Okay, do we have everything we need? We have this. We have this. I need this. Why is that not getting filled? We are missing concrete. How are we missing concrete? Actually, how are we missing concrete? Don't we have some on the bus? We do. That is stone, not concrete. That is concrete. Passive provider. Go ahead and give me a inserter. There we go. Yeah. Shove yep, a bunch of robots come over and build that. Ah, yes, the old module build that doesn't technically work anymore. I mean, it works up to tier 2. It doesn't work up to tier 3 because you need biter eggs, you need... Oh, I guess they all... Oh, because they're all productivity. I'm like, well, how do they all need biter eggs? There we go. This guy should now function, right? Right. Maybe. How much concrete does this thing need? 200? Yep. Okay. Once it's going, we are going to go over to GLEBA. We're going to land on GLEBA. We're going to set up some basic defense things, and then go from there. Cool. Do we want walls? How many walls can we do? Now that I'm sitting here thinking about that. We don't need walls. Because there is no war in Ba Sing Se. I just finished rewatching the original Avatar, by the way. Awesome show. Well, yeah, no, I'm gonna stand behind it. Awesome show. I think it was a really good show. It was everything I remember as a kid. It did feel like it went by so much faster though. Like watching all of it in one go as an adult, rather than watching it as it was like not happening, but whenever it came on, like Saturday mornings and stuff. To GLEBA. Maybe. If I can figure out what button I'm pressing. Space map. There we go. We're on the journey. We're traveling at a rate that is honestly very slow. I would like to maybe double our speed. Like, for instance, on our science ships here, I think I want to rework it a little bit to get more thrust or remove weight. Maybe a bit of both. I will say, I wish in these calculations it would tell you estimated time of arrival so that you could better plan how long it would take for a ship to get there, rather than. 'Cause, I mean, I guess you can just do the rate times time formula to find time. You just do rate divided by distance, or no, distance divided by rate. And then that gives you your time. So then if we're traveling on average 100 kilometers per second, 15,000. So even if we just assumed that, then we're just going to move a zeros, then you're going to have 15,000 seconds. Which, there's no way that takes 25 minutes. Oh no, it's 2 zeros. I'm dumb. Don't listen to me. So it takes about 2.5 minutes. 5-minute return trip time. 2.5 minutes there. 2.5 minutes back. Oh, and that's just on 100. So I already had my coffee, by the way. I don't know why I'm yawning as much as I am. I think I need my second cup. To be fair, my morning cup is literally just my cold brew that I get to sip on and enjoy. It's really nice. I do want to rework this ship as well. Like, I like the water, and I like the steam tank. However, eventually, we're gonna get better power source. We have GLEBA. It is blank. Oh no, the planet's empty. Nah, we just gotta land on it. So let's go ahead and drop to planet. We're gonna go ahead and drop to GLEBA. We're gonna go ahead and get the few initial things all set up, and then I think that's where we're gonna go ahead and call it. So let's do it. Hopefully we get a good spawn. In all honesty, I don't remember actually looking at any of the planets prior to spawning the world. So we could have a really terrible spawn. Okay. I mean, not bad. It's not as much oohing and awing as the other planets, because I did technically play on GLEBA on our multiplayer world for a little bit. So I am not completely new to this. Because, like, so for instance, this is stuff we can build on, this is stuff we can't. Even though we're very clearly walking on it. It's like a swampy planet. I will say, I like the alien biome vibe of the terrain. Like, it's definitely just a different planet. Let's go ahead and go up to the Enterprise. So things I'm going to need immediately. I'm going to need substations, inserters, landing pad, cargo, for sure, radar. And then I need... Where's those solar panels? Somewhere. There they are. That. Oh, yeah. So then let's go ahead and begin establishing proper power, as well as proper infrastructure. Okay. Ah, yes, spoilage, my favorite mechanic in this game. Spoilage, as you're going to come to find out, is honestly the absolute worst thing. I don't have any robots on me, no. Is honestly the absolute worst thing you have to deal with in this right now. It's not like a bad thing, it's just, it's a unique mechanic you have to deal with. That's how I would put it. Is it's not necessarily bad, although I'm sure some people are going to strongly dislike it and will emphatically say that this planet sucks. Why does it exist? But I would say it's more of a learning ground than anything else. It is definitely something you have to think differently with. You could go the route of making bot-based setups with it, but in all honesty, I think you can get away without doing it, which is what I'm going to try to do. Because I think it is a lot more satisfying to do belt-based, especially here on GLEBA. Same thing with Flagora, is it's like you have that nightmare of trash, and sure, you could do robots with it, but I think in certain cases it is just more efficient to do not with robots. I forgot we need repair packs now. Does this automatically... Yeah, okay. There we go. Not the best. There we go. Okay. Yes, things, let's go ahead and plop down some radars. Let's go ahead and get the remaining cargo platforms. Fully situated. How many do we have here? 32. How many do I have left in my inventory? Not 32. I have 2. I will do that, except most of them. Let's go ahead and get my cliff explosives, and then I think that's actually what we're probably going to call it. Bring these down, layer of those. I'm gonna need my assemblers. Let's go ahead and bring down a little bit of the uranium. Definitely these, definitely the laser turrets. Okay. There we go. Okay. Well, I think this is where we're gonna call it for today. Hope you guys enjoyed today's episode. If you guys did, you guys know what to do, smash the like button if you haven't done so already. And with that, I will see you guys on the next one. Oh, but side note, kind of after hour thing. The series is still going to continue as is. It's just in addition to this playthrough, I'm also going to have that 40-hour 100% speedrun. I'll probably break it up because it's going to be about 40 hours. I'm guessing it's going to take me pretty close to 40 hours of speedrunning. So expect that to come out maybe next week. Likely 2 episodes, maybe 3 episodes of that a week. I don't know how long those episodes are going to be. I don't know if I'm going to make them an hour each for a total of 40 hours, or if I'm going to make them longer or shorter. Definitely, I'm welcome to any and all input that you guys have if you guys want longer videos for that sort of thing, or just longer videos in general, let me know. Or if you guys want shorter videos and shorter form content, let me know down below. But other than that, I'll see you guys on the next one. Thanks for watching, guys. Have a good one, and as always, peace out.